104.1 KRBE, a Cumulus media station.
Good morning, everyone.
We ready?
Live from the TXU Energy Studio.
The Roula and Ryan Show with Eric, featuring Special K and Sam.
It's ItTuesday on the Roula Ryan Show. It could be super weird, it could be super gross. We'll take it to the face. Grab a garbage just in case. Just try it. Just try it.
KRBE.
All
Yeah.
right, friends.
What are we
It's
trying
time for
today?
us to revisit with a friend and a fan of the show. Emily is back. If you don't remember when Emily came, she brought us quail eggs and Japanese
You
Kit
still got one
Kats.
there.
I still have a quail
Wow.
egg here from your last visit, Emily.
Oh, my.
Welcome back to the show, Emily.
Good morning.
Hello.
Emily.
Emily also came to our roadshow at Moody Gardens in Galveston.
You're about to go on your adventure to
Yep.
Japan.
So what takes you over there so often? Like
An airplane?
Is it?
Just being
No, I mean,
fans.
is it business, or you just genuinely love the
We
country?
just love it. I didn't know I was going to like it so much going the first time and just kind of fell in love with it and found the cheap airline tickets to come back the second
Do
time.
you feel like you go to the future when you go there? Like,
Yeah, everything makes sense.
The
Everything is
technology.
orderly. Yeah, robots serve you and
Really?
everything's in vending machines.
Wait, you're
Wow.
telling me in a restaurant a robot will serve
Well,
you?
like you can, some places, but
Wow.
you can order in a vending machine, never have to talk to a human.
I like
If you
that.
like people, I guess it's a place for you.
my friends just were there a few weeks ago, and they said the 7-Elevens there were incredible.
Amazing.
Really? Because they're so clean?
You could eat at 7-Eleven every meal
you
and
eat
be
there?
perfectly satisfied.
Really good quality
Okay, so
cuisine.
my sisters are flight attendants, and one of them used to do Japan flights all the time. And she said, you know, when you go to enough cities around the world, in different cities around the world, and in the United States, you could tend to see how people behave on planes, obviously. And she said when she would do the Japanese flights, the plane was almost cleaner when they got off of it
Yeah.
than when they got on it.
I believe that.
Oh, wow.
Because everybody's so clean and so neat. So do you find it to be very clean in Japan? All the
Yes.
cities you visited, no street trash.
No, it's like
nothing
New
that.
York City, but minus the smell and
Yeah,
the
trash
and
everywhere.
everything.
Rats.
Yeah.
Wow. So Emily, what did you bring us from your latest trip?
All right. Well, I got lots of snacks. So we'll go from like probably worst to best.
Oh, okay. Worst to
okay.
first. Let's go. Worst to first.
I have no idea what it's going to taste like. So I found this at Don Quixote. It's a kind of a like their Walmart kind of.
Okay.
But it's
Okay.
a lot of tourists go there. And this is smoked squid and cheese.
Oh, God.
Oh, Lord. In the same package? Like it's a bite?
But it's
like
a little
one of those
bite.
perfect bites?
Little bite.
Let me
Oh,
see
yeah,
this.
oh, God.
Okay, pass
So-
this
Pass 'em
around.
My pop-up and I used to use squid to fish with. There was not necessarily something you ate.
This is like bait.
You use it as bait. And this looks like bait.
Oh, my
This looks like the
God.
exact pieces
You know,
of bait
now
that we used to
actually,
use.
hold on, Kev. Let's really describe it for those who can't see it because we're on radio.
Before we do this, put an X
it
on
looks
Ryan.
like a little.
Yeah, I'm taking a strike for today.
I don't
it-
like cheese and I'm going to try it.
Yeah, it looks like a square of cheese that you would get in those little snackables for like Wheat Thins and Sargento. You
Yeah,
know the little square
yeah.
cheese they give
Oh,
you?
yeah,
It
Sargento's
So the
awesome.
squared Sargento cheese on top of something else that looks kind of white and mushy.
It looks
but
like
it's
cheese
vacuum
on
sealed.
cheese.
Yeah, we haven't smelled it yet because we haven't opened it. Oh,
we
Lord.
go.
I'm
Emily.
afraid to smell it because
I don't
might-
want to smell it.
I
I
don't
have to
think
hold my
so.
nose and taste
All right.
it.
It's not bad.
No, it just smells like smoked salmon.
Yeah.
It does.
Rip it open.
That smell.
Sam,
That
you
smoke-
can be dismissed from this since you're pregnant if you don't want to.
I was going to say, because if it's
Yeah,
not
don't
cooked,
take-
I don't
you don't-
want to.
It is cooked,
Yeah.
but it's just probably highly pasteurized
Oh,
or
God,
Kevin's,
okay.
Kevin's
or
cringing,
preserved
Did you try
somehow.
it?
with
making his
salt.
move towards the garbage can.
I don't want to smell it.
It feels hard like a
Oh,
like
gosh.
a Werther,
yeah.
like not the Werther's toffee part. Not
Okay.
the ones that are like.
I gotta go in. I just gotta go in.
Yeah,
the whole
just do
thing?
it. Just do
The whole
it.
thing?
Lola popped the whole thing in her mouth.
There we go.
Okay, so
Oh,
it's
she's
squid with cheese.
Okay.
squinting,
She's
not
really
looking
chewing.
happy.
Okay. It just tastes like
It's not that bad.
processed cheese you get in a basket at Thanksgiving that somebody gave you salami and cheese. Have you seen those
Oh
baskets?
yeah. Oh,
What are those
Eric's
baskets
not
called?
liking it
I
either.
don't like cheese.
I don't either.
I like melted cheese, like a cheeseburger.
You
or
have a cracker?
queso.
Girl, give me a cracker.
Eat one of those little things from this morning.
No, because that's too sweet. I need something like a cracker. Is
These
there a
are
cracker?
sweet, but
Okay, so what
It's
are
not
we
bad, though.
opening next?
I just wish I liked cheese. If you like cheese,
It's processed cheese.
Retching.
It's really bad.
that smoked flavor's good.
It's just artificial. It's just all kinds
It's
of
slimy.
artificial. Like,
Yeah.
100% is it that sausage and cheese basket you get
Yeah.
that's vacuum sealed.
Yep.
Oh, I
It's like
smelled
that
it.
smoked Gouda.
It's like Amad's
Gouda.
eating mine on my
Let's see if
behalf.
I'm gonna like it.
Oh, he
It's not
likes
bad, it's
everything.
just not-
I wish I had some water crackers. Like that would
It
go down.
reminds me of when you get like the beef jerky with the cheese.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally 100%
It's slimy.
that.
It's got that slimy feel to it.
Because
But
it's
it
got that
tastes like the
it's
bottom
just-
of an ocean.
Yeah.
What's that?
What's that?
So these are they're little like
Here, just pour one in there. They look like
sweet.
little like bonbons. Yeah, it's got red bean.
I'm going right in.
I was going to say she didn't even say what it was.
I don't care.
It
It looks
just
like a
looked
little
good.
piece,
I gotta
like
cleanse the
a little
palate.
bun.
Yeah, little bun with red bean.
Oh, I love red bean. Okay.
I don't
It's
know
like a
what,
little
what
soft,
am I eating?
like
what
a
are you
little soft
eating?
What
bread
is this?
with red bean filling, red bean paste.
It's kind of
Yeah, red
flavorless.
Bean
Mm-hmm.
Kind of dry.
If you've been to Chinatown, or if you've gotten, used to call it Chinese ice cream when I was a child because I didn't know what else to call it.
Very dry. Holy cow.
Yeah.
It's like the shaved
Wow.
ice. If
Need
you go
the
to
water
Chinatown,
immediately.
But if you eat the whole thing, then the red bean kind of.
yeah, it's really good. I just popped the whole thing in my mouth. It's like a little soft little dough ball with red bean paste.
It's like
Yep.
a dry donut.
Yeah, you need the red
Did
bean.
not
Right.
care.
It's good. I
Like,
mean, it's fine.
immediately
It's
makes
better
you
than the
thirsty.
squid.
But
Okay, listen, if you go to Chinatown, Star Ice is where I used to go. And it's a bunch of shaved ice, like legit shaved ice. And on top, they put red bean paste. You can pick what you want.
Yeah.
Oatmeal, red bean paste, these little rice puffs, like real gummy puffs, like boba type feel. And I'm obsessed. I don't go there often enough to get it. And they can ask you want topping. The topping can be like cane sugar or sweetened condensed milk. And it's
Okay.
just so dang good.
Now, what are we opening right now?
So these are cheese chocolates. It's supposed to taste like cheesecake.
Chocolate.
Let me see.
Ooh, cheesecakes.
If you're just tuning in, we're doing Try It Tuesday. Emily is our listener who likes to go to Japan for fun because she loves it so much.
She went on that airline.
It says cheem cream.
It really smells
cheem
cheesy.
cream.
What's that
No,
airline?
it's cheesy cream.
Oh.
She went on
Oh,
Zip Air.
wow.
Zip Air.
It's Eric. It's like that
smells like
stinky feet
Oh.
cheese.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Is it worse than what we already had? Wait, Emily, did you try the squid and the cheese?
Yeah.
Is it worse than the squid and the cheese?
I haven't tried it yet.
I don't want to smell it.
smells
It
worse.
like
just
dirty
says creamy
sweat
cheese.
socks.
It just says creamy cheese
Come
on the
Ahmad.
box.
There you go, Ahmad.
And it looks like
You
it's a
go
little
first.
baked square of cheesecake.
Oh.
Smell it. Smell it.
I don't want to go right in. I didn't smell it. I went right in.
over here.
It's okay. It's better than the squid. It's fine.
It tastes okay. It smells awful.
I wouldn't smell it.
Ooh.
It's like that.
It's rich.
What's that?
It's like fat,
Taleggio
fat
cheese?
film on your mouth.
It's like the Parmesan Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
It's like a
But
weird.
there's a sweetness to it.
Yeah.
Oh, I used
It's
to
just
like
processed
cheese.
It's not
fake-
horrible.
Fake
No,
baked.
it's not terrible. I wouldn't search it out.
I'm not gonna lie. My favorite so far is the squid.
No, where's the
You
bean
can have
paste?
some-
Cheese thing,
I need
the
red bean
aftertaste,
paste. Emily,
it
where's
just
the red bean
lingers.
paste? I need
I
another
passed the
one of
bag around.
Where's the bag of
wow.
the bean paste?
Oh, the bean paste is over here. I was just taking pictures of it. 'cause
I
there's,
gotta have another one of these to cleanse the palate. I can't.
I might be with you, Ahmad.
That cheese does not leave you.
The squid
No.
thing might be better than all those.
No.
Oh, God.
All right.
Bean paste for the win.
These are fancy.
Yeah,
We
right.
have
Hey,
these
what's that?
little, they're little donuts. I saw it on an ad, and I was like, "Those look good. I want those." And so I found them, and I think they're red bean also.
Okay.
They like that red bean over there.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
sure do,
Who
man.
knew?
That red bean paste is good.
I
So
never
is
heard
that
of
the
red
same
bean.
thing as like red beans from red beans and rice?
Yeah. It's like red bean, but they sweeten
So
it.
it's
The
this
paste
little-
is like a sweet.
Little donut. I'm gonna cut them in half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't mad at these red beans.
Oh!
It's on the floor.
We lost one to the floor.
5-second roll.
I was
Ew.
gonna-
not
Wait,
We
not in
learned that
this.
the
We
other day.
learned there's no 5-second
Yeah.
rule.
Yeah,
This
it's already
floor
gone and
never
melted.
gets, yeah.
It's like acid.
The rat
been-
came and
Yeah,
took
the
It's
it.
been gooped up into the carpet. It melted
Yeah.
into the carpet.
That's our mascot, that rat.
The KRBE rat.
So if you're just tuning in to Try It Tuesday here on the Roula Ryan Show with Eric. Emily came from Japan, her latest visit to Japan. Ooh, this is real gummy. Oh. No. I like this one the most.
Like it?
What are those called?
It don't look right.
They're like red bean paste something or
Red
other.
bean
like little-
paste.
It's just red bean
Donuts.
paste with something like
Little pastries.
It doesn't smell like anything, really.
It's like a
Not bad.
Fig Newton.
yeah. Think of a fig Newton, but a
probably the-
sweeter consistency.
that's probably the
Not
best
grainy
one.
at all because the
This is
what
like
the fig has.
This is like a fig Newton. It's one of those things you don't seek it out, but if there's one laying around, you give it a try.
It's mealy.
It's a good
You know-
palate cleanser.
Did you see a lot of people eating this?
Red bean paste is used in a lot of desserts. It's like sweet, but not too
yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like red bean. I think I might go to Chinatown, go to Star Ice today.
And you recommend
I want
that,
some of that.
that airline? Because we just started getting it in March. It goes what, 4
Zip
times?
Air
Yep.
Zip hair.
is what you took.
It's like a Spirit
budget.
for low budget. But they do have some first class seats.
They
Or
weigh
don't call it first
they weigh
class.
your luggage though, so you have to make sure it's under a certain
Oh.
weight limit.
And they
Like
don't-
50
and
pounds.
you got to buy everything.
On the way there, our
Spirit.
luggage was 20 pounds, and then on the way back, we bought so much stuff. My husband's like, "I can make it fit," and we get it there, we weigh it, 50 pounds or
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Did you have to pay extra?
No, it was exactly
Right
on
under.
Yeah.
And they
You
don't
go
do
over it, then you're in
TSA.
trouble.
I was watching a video yesterday. The lady's like, you got to go. You can't go through clear.
Uh-huh.
But TSA you couldn't go through. They were out of California, so I don't know if that's different. But TSA is
Okay, so
everywhere.
leaving Houston, you can't go through TSA pre-check.
That's what these people said. They were leaving from LA to go to Japan.
That's strange.
They were just because they're saying the good and the bad, and they said,
Well,
like,
I saw this YouTube video, Eric. She said that in her YouTube video. This is the line that everybody has to wait in, no
Yeah.
matter what.
And even when you get on the plane, there's no like, you guys got to go first. It's pretty much a free for all.
And
So
Emily,
coming
they went
back-
by rows.
Like Southwest used to
Did you
be.
have to pay to sit next to your husband, and that's why you sat by yourself on the way back?
Yeah, so you pay to pick your seat. So we didn't pick our seat, so we just got
Whatever.
The
Random.
luck of the draw.
How much did it cost you to go 14-hour flight round trip? What was round
700 round trip.
on Zip Air.
Wow.
$700. That's
They had a special going that was $100 off.
Okay.
So what's the normal? If I use like United or something, what's the average ticket to
Probably
Japan
at
run? Do you
least
know?
1,400
Oh wow! So
in
almost
first
half
class.
price.
for just coach.
Their first class is like $2,000 each way, so it's $4,000. And I think,
Well, hell,
United's
go
like
$2,000 on a Zip Air versus $2,000 in a
And they're
coach
full
seat on.
flat.
but you got to bring your own iPad because there's no
Yeah.
and your own blankets and stuff. There's
No
thrills. You can buy,
televisions
you can
in the
buy the
headset.
blankets for like $80, and you
Yeah,
get
but
it.
And she
used to
mentioned that the meal on the plane was $15 if you wanted to purchase the meal on
And
the
it was
plane.
decent.
And it was decent. And then the drinks were like the alcoholic drinks were around $8.
Yeah.
Which is kind of typical.
Once
say-
again, I am
Roadshow guys, let's go to Japan.
Japan. What's the time? Like
Time difference?
spent into
8:14.
like how long? does it
14
take?
hours on the way
14
there
hours?
and 12 on the way back.
Okay. And the time difference is where are they
14 hours ahead.
Ahead.
They're ahead.
Yeah.
That's
14
going to
hours.
screw you up.
Okay.
Well, thanks for all the snacks, Emily. We appreciate
Yes, thank you
spending
so
your
much.
own money on
and
us.
I have for Eric
What is it? Oh my gosh!
that
Hibiki Suntory Blossom.
Ooh,
Blossom
you
Harmony
can't get that
Hibiki
here.
whiskey. What?
yeah.
And it's in the duty-free bag still, Eric.
Nice. I will pay you for this
Oh my
one.
goodness!
Wow. How much did this
Can
cost?
we try that?
How much was
Why
this?
didn't we try that?
$273.
$270.
That's
Yeah.
$273 for that bottle.
Are
Bruce.
you ever going to open that? Can we please try that, please?
He's not going to
no.
open
Please,
it.
can we
He's
try
not
it?
gonna
Oh,
open
that goes
it.
on my shelf
He's
now.
going to hoard it.
Please,
Yeah.
can we try it? Please, can we try it? Let's try it, please.
You got
Let's break down
$100.
Eric during the
$100
commercial
a
break.
shot, guys.
100 a shot.
$30 a shot.
All right, listen. Well, I try and break down Eric off the air to try this whiskey. You guys need to call us for True Crime Tuesday coming up next at 833-390-KRBE. If you are directly connected to some kind of a crime, or I don't
Y'all
know, maybe
been
you're a
bringing it
juror of a
lately.
crime, you're the one that busted up the crime, you live next door to the criminal, you didn't even know.
January, February, March, we had killer calls. The last
Well,
week or
literally
two. Yeah.
about killers.
The last 2
Good
weeks,
calls.
we haven't had as many. So
Maybe somebody in
hoping-
your family was the criminal.
All right, so
shaming your name.
833-390-KRBE.
True Crime Tuesday next on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
It's KRBE with more of the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
All right, coming up right now, I'm going to get to the first call for Try It Tuesday. I mean, for
True Crime Tuesday.
Because Chris has a story, and we want to make sure that we get his story on the air before we lose him.
won't
Because
lose
everybody
him.
has to go
All
to
right.
work and things like that. Chris, hi, can you hear me? It's Roula. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi.
All right.
Okay, I don't know if you're like on your Bluetooth or your windows are open. It just sounds really windy. So just be aware that to us it sounds very windy. So just talk loud
Yeah,
and
can you
clear.
take us off Bluetooth or speaker?
Yeah, let me give you 1 second
Yeah,
here.
that way it'll sound clear. Because
Yeah.
we want to hear your story from
In the
what Ahmad
meantime,
said.
while he's doing that, 833-390-KRBE if you are connected
Is this
somehow to
better?
crime. Perfect. It's great.
Yes, now we can hear you clearly.
All right, now, Chris, I understand that you told Ahmad this happened to your sister in 2000. So 25 years ago, this happened to your sister. What happened to her?
Sister-in-law. And
Sister-in-law.
so,
Okay.
Yeah, it's a totally true story. It's so she was dating this guy, and she became pregnant by him, and he did not want the child. And so, long story short of it, he had rigged a pipe bomb to her thermostat
Oh, my God.
on New Year's Day.
In her
And
house?
So when she came in the apartment, actually.
Uh-huh.
And so whenever she came home and she turned her thermostat on, the entire apartment just engulfed. It blew up.
Oh, my.
So it did.
my
It ignited,
gosh.
and
It happened.
it happened.
Yeah, it killed her and her 3-year-old daughter.
Oh my!
Wow.
Oh, my gosh. Was that here in Houston, Chris?
No, that was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
And what happened? What ended up happening with him? Is he? I hope he's still in jail. Is he still in?
He is. He was getting away with it for a while, and the actual detective though he screwed up because he built the pipe bomb. He was a machinist, and he used his machine, and the guy just kind of followed up on it, and they found a match to the way he cut it up with his machine, and that's what got him.
Oh, it's almost like a ballistics.
Yeah, exactly.
How long until they figured that out? Was it a long time until they figured out it was
Yeah,
him?
it was a pretty long time. It was probably long. It was about a year and a half. So, but he was,
Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
So I guess initially when the apartment exploded, they thought it was some kind of a fail with some system that had to do with the apartment complex.
Or the
That's exactly what they thought.
Whoa.
Maybe the firefighters could see it. They can tell probably, right? But they can't prove
they
who
just
did
to find
it.
that piece of pipe, and then they just started putting it together, and that's what it was. So.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for your loss. That is awful. So let's get this straight. Your sister-in-law was killed because her boyfriend at the time found out she was pregnant with his child and did not want it. So he concocted a pipe bomb, put it to the thermostat of her apartment. And when she turned on the thermostat, it exploded and killed her and her 3-year-old.
That is exactly what happened. Almost sounds like a bad movie, but that is exactly what happened.
Wow. How did her family react to everything? I mean, your wife.
Well, my wife at the time, she never recovered. I mean, it was kind of. Honestly, it ended the marriage too because she just never recovered.
Oh, it caused you problems within your marriage.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, she just. It was very traumatic. As you can imagine.
Oh my gosh,
terrible.
Chris, what a.
Is that why you left Pittsburgh?
Yeah, what brought you to Houston?
No, actually, we were down here and we got the call. And because we were living here at the time, and they said that her name was Dina, and they said that she died. And this girl's 20 years old, and she said that the Kayla, which was the young girl, died also. And then we heard the story, so we flew back up immediately. But it was really pretty terrible.
I'm so sorry.
She was only 20 years old. My goodness.
What a
a chance to release.
What a scumbag. Hopefully he never gets out.
Oh my gosh,
hope
Chris. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for everything that happened after that. But I'm glad you told us the story. I would have never known this story even exists.
It just boggles the mind how somebody could be capable of doing something like that.
Gosh, Chris, really, because just when you can't think of it, somebody thinks of it. And who would have thought? This guy is a machinist. He's going to make this pipe bomb.
I'm gonna check my thermostat now.
Yeah.
And what does it even look like when
That's
it's
what I was
attached
just
to your
thinking,
thermostat?
How would you even know?
Yeah, where is it at? Where's it located? Was
did
it
it take
inside
it
the wall?
Let me ask Chris real quick.
and then put it
Chris,
behind it?
Chris, just real quick. I know it was already exploded, but do we have any? Did y'all get any idea or any picture of what it looked like before she turned on the thermostat? What did it look like?
There was just like a tube or something like that he had attached directly to the actual, I guess, the electronics of it, so that whenever she hit a certain temperature, it was going to explode.
So it was behind the panel on the wall.
Yeah, I believe that's exactly correct.
Okay.
I mean,
I can't even imagine. In my head, I don't even know what it looks like because
Right.
the thermostat's so small.
I was trying to Google it, and now our company's
Yeah, I don't want that.
Oh gosh, no.
You don't want to.
Don't Google how to make a
algorithm's
pipe
gonna be
bomb.
really strange.
For a
Not how
thermostat,
to,
my
just
gosh.
curious what
Bombs.
it looks like. This is from True Crime Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah, I swear.
Thank you so much for calling, Chris. Annette is up next for True Crime Tuesday at 833-390-KRB. We learned something new today. Pipe bomb thermostat. Hi, Annette. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Morning.
I understand your story has to do with a cruise. The cruise of deception.
Oh, yeah.
What's happening? What happened on this cruise?
Okay,
30 years ago.
So basically, I cruised with a killer, and they think he may be actually a serial killer.
Oh, my God.
In 1999, I went on my first cruise. A friend of mine was getting married, a friend from work, and there was about 20 of us that went on this cruise, and she was marrying this guy, which all of us thought he was creepy, but this was in 1999. None of us really liked him or anything. So fast forward to 2012, I saw one of the people that I'd gone on the cruise with, and I asked about our friend, and she said, "Oh, you didn't hear? In 2010, they reran some DNA from a girl was killed in Texas City. You may remember this. A 13-year-old had walked to her grandmother's house, from her grandmother's house to a payphone, and got kidnapped and molested and killed.
Oh, dear God.
And this was in 1996. Remember, we cruised in 99.
Okay.
So come to find out, he got convicted on in 2010, he got picked up on a drug charge. His DNA got entered into the system. They reran the DNA on this cold case and got a hit. And he eventually confessed to strangling and picking her up, strangling her with his belt and raping her.
3 years before.
The groom of the wedding you went on the cruise for.
Yes, I have pictures. In fact, I just found the pictures the other day of all of us, and he's in it. And it was actually on an IDTV special, too. And his name was Kevin Smith. The little girl was Kathy Baker. But they feel like he probably has done something like this before. They have, if you go out there and research it, there's all kinds of things they put out showing where he's lived and asking people if they know anything about,
But you knew he was weird. You knew he was weird when you were there. You got
the vibes.
Oh, he was creepy. He was in my house, and my late husband. He was like he drove the car for the bachelor party, which he hated. But anyway, he was just weird. He was one of those people you look at and you're like, ugh. But what do you do when your friends get married? You can't really.
No, that's true. And you brought up a good point that they never just start out with that.
Especially
They have to work their way up to it. Like I watch the ID channel a lot, and usually they have to build to that level.
So is he still in jail now, Annette? Did he get arrested for the 96 murder, and then you found other murders that y'all found out about, or what? Just that one murder he got arrested for?
I researched that they haven't said anything about any others, but they were investigating to see if he'd done any of the other killing fields murders, because that's all in this area.
Oh, yeah, there's a series about that on Netflix as well.
Yeah, the killing fields.
Wow, Annette. You go on a cruise for a friend's wedding, you're not a fan of the groom?
It freaks me out when I see all these kids running around on these cruises without chaperones. They just let their kids run.
Wait, hold on. That was the best part of the cruise.
Yeah.
That's why my parents took me on a cruise, so they could get rid of us.
If you think about it, this guy killed somebody 3 years before, and
you could have been searching.
You don't know who's on these cruises. That he wasn't on the radar. So
that's so terrifying.
Do they have
that is a great point.
So they have closed circuit TV on these cruise ships.
Oh yes,
so they can see.
But now they have cameras like everywhere.
Yeah, but you have to wait till something happens to go access the camera. So you want something to happen. So that's just a good point, Annette. Watch your kids. Watch your kids.
Like she's at anywhere.
Watch where the kids are.
Right.
I guess
5 seconds.
So scary.
Oh,
Annette, thank you for calling. We're getting a lot of
second.
calls. I'm going to try and get to as many as we can. We have Henry coming up next at 833-390-KRBE. Liz, if you can stand by because Henry's first. Hi, Henry. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi,
Morning, Henry.
It's True Crime Tuesday. What is the crime you want to tell us about?
So I grew up here in Houston, and 95, Martin Luther King Day, 1995, we were seniors in high school, and a friend of mine had gotten an insurance check for $1,500. It was we lived in Champions, and some other people found out about it. It was the night before we went back to school. 5 people pulled up in a car. They were aged 15 to 17. 1 stayed in the car. The other 4 went in the house, and 2 went upstairs, and 2 came downstairs. And the intent was just to rob them for the $1,500.
Oh, no.
What they didn't know is that his older sister also had a friend visiting from college. So they pull everybody downstairs, and they've got the 2 girls in the front of the house, and they've got the rest in the back, and they're coming out from smoking a cigarette, and they come inside the house, and they say, give me the money. And he says, I'm not giving you anything. And then they shoot at the ground. And when they do, the guy in the front freaks out and shoots the girl who's visiting in the back of the head and kills her.
Oh, my gosh.
And then my 2 friends turned to run out of the house. And so as they turn right out of the house, they start shooting. And so they end up killing one of them. The other one we talked to later says that he just pretended to be dead so they would leave. And one small detail is that when they went upstairs to get the girls, they kicked one of them down the stairs, his sister, and she ran out to call the cops. So all of this happened within about 15 minutes. And when they left, the girl was dead and my friend was dead. And at the end, there were 5 of them aged 15 to 17 years old were the ones who had done this.
And they were caught
for an insurance check, $1,500 insurance.
$1,500.
And they were caught?
Which was pretty awesome. So we were at the funeral, and at the funeral,
your phone broke up. So at the funeral, did the police show up?
Yeah, the police showed up and said they had caught all of them, and they're all sitting in Huntsville right now.
Good.
Wow.
Nice.
$1,500.
15-year-old.
Really?
Just their whole life.
A life that could have been.
And you split it 5 ways.
Yeah.
For $300, they put their entire life on the line for $300.
To deprive somebody of an entire
That's
life.
insane. And they should be in Huntsville.
It just tells you
I'm glad
something.
they're sitting there.
Don't let people know you have money.
Nope.
That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. But what's even worse, his brother felt so guilty because he'd introduced, I guess they had somehow knew each other, had introduced him, and a year and a half later killed himself.
Oh,
he felt
my
so
God.
guilty about his brother
His
getting
guilt.
Yeah.
Guilt.
Heavy.
See, that
cross to
ripple
bear.
effect of that crime. That's terrible. My goodness.
When did this
Sorry
happen?
about bringing you guys down on the
No.
What year was
It's
that,
an
Henry? You
eye-opener.
said 96? 99?
That was Martin Luther King Day of 96.
Okay.
So it was January of 96.
I mean, it's a lesson.
It is a
Don't
lesson.
let people
Don't-
know what
Yeah.
you're.
Right.
Be careful.
Because you could be like, oh, look,
Social media,
What
you
was
wanna
the
flex?
$1,500 for? The insurance check was for what? Do you even know, Henry? What was the
Like
insurance?
a fender bender. Like
Yeah.
nothing. They got rear-ended at a red light or something. And
Yeah.
$1,500 is nothing.
But it's a lot to a 15-year-old. They're like, oh, look at me, I got
Yeah.
this. Or like a 17-year-old's like, oh, I got $1,500. You feel like you're the richest person. And then these other punk kids are like, oh, let's go get money from
On
them.
social media now, kids are bragging about if they got some.
First
God,
of
you
all,
guys have gotta be
you got nothing to
careful.
brag about. It's not your money. It's your parents.
Liz is standing by. Let me see if she has time for the story, or do we have to?
No, we got to take a break.
I know.
and
I
come
mean, if she can hold on or not, because I can come back to her. But if she can't stay, then there's no point. Hi, Liz. Can you stick around, or do you have to run? All right.
I can stick around.
Okay. Well, hang on the line. True Crime Tuesday continues next on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
104.1 KRVE. I love it.
Back to Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
All right, we continue with Liz's story from True Crime Tuesday. We have been taking your calls at 833-390-KRBE, and Liz's call came in, and it has to do with, we always joke, like, we're very interested in hearing stories of, you always see that person on the news, well, they were just a really great neighbor. I was borrowing their garden hose one day, and I didn't realize they strangled their family with it.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff like that, right?
Seemed to be a normal, nice guy.
This is a neighbor story that Liz has. Hi, Liz. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you guys?
Morning.
Good. Ready for your story, sister? Let's hear it. What happened? What year was it? Tell us all of it.
So, ironically, this was 1998, and this actually happened very close to the last murder that was discussed. That is the Champions area, and this was in Cutton Green. Wow. So this is all kind of behind, like, the Willowbrook Mall, if you can get an idea.
Yeah.
Really quiet neighborhood. We lived in there. I was 9 at the time. Yeah, like 8 going on 9. My sister was going into high school. So we grew up with everyone, knew everyone, knew our neighbors. Anyway, so it's literally the night before we're about to move to Tomball. And I'll also add in, my dad was in law enforcement. So he kind of like knew of everyone in the neighborhood, and everyone kind of knew of him just as like a safety kind of thing. So anyways, late at night, I get up to go get some water, see cop cars everywhere, was kind of confused. Next morning I realized, like, hey, like, why didn't we wake up when we're supposed to? Like, what's going on? My mom kind of tried to keep us inside the house. Come to find out, a neighbor had been murdered, and his wife had been shot. She was in critical condition. So we find out that in the middle of the night, we grew up with these 4 boys, and it was probably like midnight. Somebody rings their doorbell, and they don't know who it is. They think somebody's just like ding-dong ditching, playing a joke. They look outside. Nobody's there. Well, then the doorbell rings again, and their next-door neighbor, who was like 19 at the time, he was newly out of high school, was on their front porch, and he is just beside himself. He's crying. They bring him into the house. He's upset. Somebody killed my dad, my stepdad. Somebody has killed my mom. I don't know what to do. So they keep him inside the house. They call 911. Everyone comes. My dad goes down to the scene because he's kind of like, quote unquote, detective in the area, kind of giving PD an idea of, demographic, whatever. So years and years and years later, or not years and years, but when this goes to trial, he confesses. The son confesses on the stand.
Oh, my.
And
on the stand, he confessed that he's the killer.
Yeah.
So he did it.
Yep. And he got away. I mean, if he had not, my parents were like, he would have. He was so unsuspecting. So apparently it was his mom, it was his mom and his dad's house. Stepdad moves in, but very close with stepdad. Well, he turned 19. He's out of high school, and stepdad was like, hey, you got to get a job. You got to get out. You got to figure out what you're doing. And he didn't like the idea of that. And so his idea was to murder both of them so that he could get insurance money. But he just critically wounded. Yeah. And it was so dark. So he had actually gone into their bedroom, had this planned like very well, gone into the bedroom in the dark, got away with it, shooting both of them. The way he shot the mom, she was critically injured, but she ended up recovering. But in the moment, I guess, how he shot her, she was immediately out. So she saw nothing. He then plotted this all out to go to the next door neighbor's house. And he knew, because they had older sons that were kind of close in his age, that they'd probably be awake at the time. So it kind of fit the story of like seeing him in his initial panic. Yeah. And so, I mean, we just thought it was so crazy because they essentially let this murderer come into their home. They sat him down. I remember, this is like so weird, but I remember the neighbor being like, I got him a barf bowl because he couldn't stop throwing up because he was so upset.
No, it's because he murdered.
Yeah, guilt.
Guilt. Yeah.
Murders.
Yes,
Wow.
that
Mother.
someone had murdered his parents, but it was him. Yeah. So pretty crazy.
In the
and
movies,
then hearing later,
in the movies, don't they show like they take everyone's hands and they check for
gun residue
and stuff?
Yeah.
It's 98, 86.
I don't know if he had like, you know, I don't know
gunshot
the
residue.
In the 90s, they didn't check Menendez boys for gun on their hands.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mistakes are made all the time.
He has to throw the gun somewhere. He's got to put that gun away.
But don't these? I know he's a kid, but you got to realize that anytime there's a murder like that, they immediately go to the family. They got to suspect it's either the mate or
he
a
got
child.
away with it.
Yeah.
The mom.
And
the mom had to be
the
crushed.
family. Neighbors attested to this. The neighbors that took him in, I think that they were a part of the trial, and everyone had said he was an amazing kid. He was older. Again, we were like 10 years apart, so we never crossed paths in school. I never saw him, but he was always outside mowing the grass. He was always out, like
you're that person in the news. It's like, oh, the neighbor's so nice.
So
and
all
quiet.
this because he didn't want to get booted from the house. He didn't want to work.
100%.
Okay, and can I ask you this question too, Liz? When he confessed to the murder on the stand, I mean, obviously it's like a movie to everyone's shock that he's saying what he's saying. But did the prosecutors or anybody ask him, what made you just blurt this out? You almost had this. Because, lots of times cops say, you almost had this. You almost got away with this. What made you just blurt it out?
Guilt. Apparently it was just the ultimate, I think, truly because people were sitting in the courtroom saying and speaking on his character, how amazing he was. He was an honor roll student at Klein High School. He was this amazing stepson. He was this amazing son. And the mom at this point had already recovered.
That's what I was gonna say.
She's in the courtroom and she, and of course, so they're also asking her because the way she was shot, could she have done it? So of course, they interview and once she's fine, they kind of ask her to recall the night, they're just kind of checking off all the boxes.
Did the mom have a head wound or something? Was that what happened?
Yes. So it was either, I don't remember. I remember my dad saying it was now she also was shot in the ankle and then in the head. And so when he confessed, he had said, I shot her in the ankle so that she couldn't move. And then, so it was a very weirdly,
he plotted this out.
Yes, and when the mom then discussed later, when we talked to the next door neighbors that had the sons, because we kept in touch with them when we moved to Tomball, they, then obviously talked. She sold the house right after that. The house was sold. She moved out. He moved out. I think he moved in with her. I think he lived with her.
But that poor woman. Could you imagine though that?
My question is, why was he on the stand?
That child.
Why was he on the stand?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Were they trying to
cross-examine?
Because who are they arresting? Did they have someone arrested? Why would they take this to trial and they don't have anyone to...
Actually, that's a good point, Eric. Who's on trial?
That's what I'm saying.
Or I don't know if there was another party. I just remember my parents, essentially my dad was still in law enforcement at the time. He, retired way later. But I remember... I guess maybe there was someone, suspect.
The guilt must have gotten them because someone else was being framed.
Oh, so somebody was being tried for this crime.
Yeah, so there was something, because there was a whole reason why this was in there.
But
why
he
it was
wasn't on trial. They weren't accusing him of doing this.
No, I think he was on the stand and he was recounting his night or something, recounting some sort of, but it ties in, and it's so weird that guy had the phone call right before me, because this area was essentially Champions was this very quiet, very perfect, picturesque 90s area of Klein. Yes. And so that area was so heightened because they had never experienced any sort of severe crime until that incident around MLK and then this. And so I just remember there was a lot of emotion with the neighborhood and oh my gosh, this is happening again.
What was the kid's name again? I want to look it up today.
I do not remember his name.
This
I remember
really sounds like
Cotton Green in 98.
And I have tried.
movie.
I have looked this up. All I know is that through talking to the other neighbors, like a couple years ago, whatever, and being like, hey, whatever happened, that he's in Huntsville. He'll be in prison for life. But because essentially, I guess because he confessed, it was lessened his sentence. I don't really know. I don't really know what, but I just know he's in prison for life.
Everyone's in Huntsville on this.
Yep.
Yeah. True Crime Tuesday.
Yeah.
Thing.
And we do get jail mail.
Department
from
of
there,
Corrections.
Yeah, that's insane.
Well, the jail mailers are going to be like, that's my cellmate.
Now, if you want to hear more of these true crime stories, Ahmad put the podcast together. So
Sliced them together so you got like an hour of it?
It's like at least an hour of it. And he's going to take like these and put them together with other stuff. And
hey, Ahmad, how long is that podcast?
It's about an hour. If you look up Best of True Crime Tuesday 2025, it'll pull up. It's a little deep in our podcast right now, but it's Best of True Crime Tuesday.
We can talk to Irvin about making a little thing for
like
Tile
a
or something.
banner or something.
Because then you can keep adding to new ones. Like,
right.
Take the
like
next
this
batch.
one will definitely be in part 2.
Yeah.
Like this whole
as we
True
build
Crime
up
Tuesday.
So like 6 months from now, we'll have like 4 or 5 of these. Hopefully.
Right.
That's awesome. Now, speaking of podcast, if you missed Revenge in the 7 o'clock hour, well, you're in luck because we've got Revenge coming up next. And then we'll you want to do Couples Court after
underwear?
that?
Who knew about
I know.
Underwear and Revenge.
And you know.
Thongs.
Yeah, thongs and senior citizens. You'll find out what it's all about next on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.